two massively important league games for you today. It's not even Champions League knockout time yet, but we could kind of mess up the whole league season today, which, you know, it's kind of how we roll. Hello and welcome to part 43 of the Milan mission. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we play against the third and fourth team in Serie A, and we need to beat them both. They're both must-win games as it stands at the moment. We're 6 points behind Inter, who are top of the league. We do have a game in hand on them, but obviously if we slip up against either or both of Juventus and Fiorentina, the league campaign is just about over and this becomes a one competition season. And we're just trying to win the Champions League. We don't really want that. We'd like to beat both of these teams. We do play Inter again at some point as well, so there's still a chance. I mean, if we win every game, we'll win the league. Easy, really, isn't it? Problem is, we're far from winning every game. We obviously have the spectacular 7-0 win in the last episode, followed it up with a couple of good results, but then a disappointing performance against Roma, and Inter are in good form, as are Juventus. So, you know, it's not going to be the easiest game we've ever played, especially because you know how I love a right back. Well, we haven't really got any today. Makey's got a cold. De Chilio is suspended. So Emre Can is going to be playing at right back for us. I think it's the first time he's done it. It was a bit of a toss-up between him and Little Gomez. But he gets the nod because of his Champions League winning experience and all that. So our team for today's massive game against Juventus, who I think we've only beaten once or twice in the league in 5 years. So, you know, it's going to be hard. With slightly thrown together right back, basically. Everyone else is pretty much first choice. So it's Donnarumma in goal, a back four of Emre Can, Zuma, Romagnoli and George, Bazoa and Mauri in midfield, Dybala, he's up front again, don't worry, with Guedes, Lamar and Gabriel Barbosa in behind him. We're even having to put youngsters on the bench. That's how desperate it's getting. Look, who else? Luca Rana. Nobody knows. He can play right back though, hence he's on the bench just in case both Emre Can and Little Gomez pick up a knot and we can't move Zuma over there. And I mean, there's got to be about 5 injuries before Luca Rana comes on, and obviously by then we won't be able to make a substitution because you can't do 5 of them. I know what I mean. Yeah, it would be nice to have De Chilio in the side, but what you gonna do? I mean, that's a good looking Juventus. Oh, by the way, I mean, I know we're going back 6 or 7 episodes now. Towards the end of last season, I said, who's the guy who we're going to spend £100 million on? It was him. Would that have been better or worse than Dybala? Who knows? I think we probably did better in the end, especially now we figured out how to play him. If he gets us a hat-trick today against his old club, then obviously we made the right decision. So here we go. We are off. We are against Juventus. Dybala's in already. Guedes, George to Bazoa, and the move ends. I'm for the first time in probably about a month, I'm recording this episode the night before it's due out. It's a bit weird. I'm used to speaking as if we're miles in the future. Dybala's in. There you go. It's 1-0. Yeah, I'm used to doing it as if we're miles in the future, but this episode's going to be out tomorrow. It's a bit weird. I've already been to Play Expo. It's still weeks before I go to Comic-Con, but it's still going to be weeks when the video comes out. I'm not having to pretend that I'm driving or I'm not eating donuts. I've eaten donuts, but I'm not eating them right now. It's all a bit weird. This used to be how every video used to be on the channel. In fact, what's the date? We're closing in on the 1 year anniversary of the channel even existing. I think it was the 15th or the 17th of October. So we're less than a week away from the 1 year anniversary of the channel. That's good, isn't it? I don't think I've recorded a video since we passed 6,000 subscribers either. So thank you for that, everybody who has subscribed. And if you haven't recently, now is as good a time as any to get on there. So we're 1-0 up at half time. Thanks to the goal from Dybala. We just need to, I don't want to say hang on. I don't want to hang on. I want to make it 2 or 3-0 so we don't have to worry too much about it, and can start focusing on the Fiorentina game. But, you know, Juventus are a bit good, aren't they? What is with my hair? My hair looks really big today. I think it's because I've had to drag this hoodie over my hair 2 or 3 times as I move from the nice warm house to the freezing cold garage. But yeah, it makes it look like I've got a very bouffant hairstyle. Right, let's make a substitution. Juventus have only had one shot all game. We're doing quite the job on him. Gabriel Barbosa, disappointing performance again. Easy decision. He makes way for Luan. Not quite so easy from a second substitution. It could be one from quite a number of players. I think what we're actually going to do is bring on Kovacic. We spent a lot of money on him in the summer. He's a very good player, so let's get him on the pitch. It allows Mauri to carry on playing as our box-to-box midfielder, where we know he can have quite the influence on a game of football, as we've seen him do recently. It would be nice if we could create a clear-cut chance or two, because that aside, we're dominating Juventus. Got less possession and we've only had 2 shots on target ourselves. I mean, it's what a poor game between historically the 2 best teams in Italy. There you go, Inter fans. How do you feel about that? But yeah, I don't know. You'd expect us to be doing a little bit better than we are, or them to be doing a little bit better than they are. For there only to be 2 shots in target between us for the whole game. What a boring match this is. But we don't really care as long as we win it. And we've only got to hang on for another 2 minutes, or 2 and a bit. And then we pull back to within 3 points of Inter Milan at the top of the league. Luan finds Danilo. Guedes should have scored. Hopefully that's not going to come back and bite us in the last 2 minutes of the game. Because we should be 2-0 up. We finally had a clear-cut chance in the final minute. But we still need to hang on for another minute or so. But we've got the ball. That's good. Right, Danilo sprays it out wide to Guedes, who does well to keep hold of it. Danilo again, but we've given the ball away. But Danilo's in there again. He wants a regular starting spot. Guedes hits the crossbar this time. That's 2 excellent chances for Gonzalo Guedes, but neither of them were to be. But I think that's enough anyway. It should be full time now. And George doesn't even get time to take the throw on. We're back to within 3 points of Inter Milan at the top of the league. And now we play Juventus, who are in the other Champions League spot. This is what a hectic time for Italian football. Right, so the team for the second of today's massive doubleheader against Fiorentina, the 4th place team. Makey comes back in at right back. Both Makey and De Chilio now available, so Emre Can drops out of the side. Everything else is pretty much the same, other than the fact that Luan comes in for Guedes. Couldn't really, it was difficult deciding whether to bring him in for Gabriel Barbosa or Guedes. I wanted to get him into the side somehow. I know Barbosa wasn't great against Juventus, but he's been better recently than Guedes has, so we'll get Luan in. On the left wing, I don't know that we've ever played him as a winger. There was the temptation there. I could always stick Dybala out on the wing. He likes to go on the left wing. Stick Luan back up front where we know he can score lots of goals. But I stopped myself from doing it because I was just imagining the comments the day after we had an episode titled Dybala is a striker. He's back out on the left wing again. So I've saved myself from all of the abuse that would no doubt generate. And, hopefully Luan will rediscover himself a little place in the side playing out wide. I am disappointed that he's been the victim of spending all the money that we've spent, really. But then I guess he's the oldest of the front 4 that we had last year, and I don't know, probably not as good as the rest of them. I know I said all this when he first signed, that I wasn't that certain about him despite spending a load of money on him. And I guess that's still the case now. Who is he better than? Barbosa, Lamar, Guedes, Dybala? He's not better than any of them. Surely. I know you all keep telling me to play him. Can't play 5 up front though, surely. I just need to get better at this rotation luck, but I've never mastered it in 20 years of playing Football Manager, so the chances of me figuring out how to properly rotate players now are fairly slim. Luan's going to end up getting all grumpy. Talking of grumpy, Bertolacci's on the transfer list now. He's finally got officially grumpy about not being a first choice player for about 3 seasons for us. I think he's finally figured it out. Now he's not even a player who comes off the bench ever. I think he's maybe played 3 games this season, and they were when we were in massive rotation mode. Because he's like the 6th choice. We've got Bozoa, Mauri, Danilo, Kovacic, Emre Can. Yeah, there's at least 5 central midfielders ahead of him, and they're just the ones that immediately sprung to mind. There's probably a few more as well. Yeah, he's never playing for us again. Right, Luan, what can he do out on the wing? He can do some kind of space-shifting, time-shifting move to Dybala. That was interesting. He never did that when he used to play up front. Right, Lamar can't find Dybala, but he does the second time, and that's a poor miss. Now, Luan wouldn't have missed there. Should we swap them round? Oh, you lot are going mental if I swap them round, especially after the speech at the start of the match. Come on, lads, we need a goal. Oh, Inter were ahead. It looks like they're not now because the gap's back down to 3 points. So if Inter aren't winning, this is now a massive opportunity. It's not just a case of needing the win to keep up with them anymore. We now need the win to start catching up. Right, Dybala's coming off. I'm not moving him out to the left wing, don't worry. He's not having a good game. He has been brilliant offline, but obviously today not quite doing it because you lot are here. He's gone all camera shy. So I bring Guedes on for him, push Luan up front, and Kovacic comes on in midfield for Bazoa. And we've got 20 minutes left. We need to find a goal, especially as Inter still don't seem to have found one. Come on, lads. We could be 1 point behind them if we just pulled something out of somewhere. Have we got anyone who could... I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring Benzema on. He's back registered for the league, finally. So we're going to stick him up front. Luan out as an inside forward. Now, the third position he's played in for us today. But I just feel like maybe Benzema is the man who can just do something a little bit special. He's got catching up to do on the goal-scoring front this season. He weighed in with his good fair share of goals last year, considering he was a backup. And hopefully he can do it again this year. Right, Guedes on the left. Running. Oh, he tries the audacious, long-range, crazy shot. I mean, he is set as a winger, but in the last 2 games now, we've seen him try a lot of shots for a winger. He's obviously got a taste for goal at the moment, but it's not quite coming off for him. It would have been spectacular if it did. It's finished 0-0. Overall, not a massively disappointing outcome across the 2 games. We've not done any real damage, but it would have been nice to close that gap up on Inter a little bit. Right, next episode, it's going to be all about the Champions League. We're going to have the first leg of the knockout round and probably either Brescia or Avellino. We're not going to worry about the Italian Cup. We are in the semi-final. We've got 2 legs against Juventus. Nobody cares. Even if we get to the final, I might not bother showing you it. We'll see if we probably won't be in with anything else in 2 episodes' time. We'll be telling you how. That's what we really wanted. That's how we wanted to close out the series. A nice Italian Cup win. That's proper unfinished business there. But we'll see. So next couple of episodes are going to be our FC Red Bull Salzburg. If you've enjoyed that, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching. Oh, and check out the newly rebranded second channel. It's now called Lollujo Earth 2. It was the one that was Never Too Old. And there's a vlog on there for my weekend trip to Manchester and Play Expo, which I'd very much like you to check out and let me know what you think.